What's up, guys, and welcome back to another postural video here. Now this is specifically focused around the upper half of the body. If you haven't seen correcting the pelvis and hips first, I highly encourage you to watch that video first, because if you haven't watched that, then none of this will really matter because you haven't set up your foundation. So check out my other video on correcting the pelvis and hips posture first, and then come back and watch this if you haven't already. So once you've established a good position in your pelvis, you've got your pelvis aligned in 3 planes of motion. You're on both butt cheeks, you're not twisted in the hips, you're not twisted in the pelvis, and you have maintained the lumbar lordosis, your inward curve in your low spine, then we can begin to focus on the upper half. So I have my lovely assistant here, and what we're looking at when we're talking about the upper part of the body is we're going to look at the chest, the shoulders, and the neck and head. So once you've got into a good position with your pelvis, then we need to think about the position of your chest and your shoulders. You'll hear a lot of times when people talk about posture that they're saying that you should pull your shoulders back. So then you just end up squeezing hard through the middle trapezius and rhomboids. And that doesn't necessarily fix your posture, because if my spine is flexed forward, I could pull my shoulders back, and you can still see that my shoulders are tipped forward if I'm pulling back like that. Instead, you should recognize that the shoulder is a ball in socket joint, so it has to be able to roll back into the socket. The shoulder is composed of 3 different parts. You have your clavicle or your collarbone. You have your scapula. And you also have the humerus. So you can see it's a shallow ball and socket joint, and it has to be able to articulate and be in a position that's good. So if your upper back is not in a good position, then your shoulder, neck, and head can also not be in a good position. So once we've corrected the pelvis and we have a nice inward curve of the spine that is uniform and well distributed, then you can get into the shoulder. And so when we're talking about aligning the shoulder blade, the first thing I think a good visual is to think of a string pulling you from the middle part of your sternum here, and that's going to pull up towards the ceiling. Now here's the trick though. If I just do that and I just pop my ribs out, then I have a problem. I'm just moving from my low mid back there, and I'm never really getting into the upper part, the thoracic spine, and trying to grow tall through the crown of my head. Now, in order to do that, I usually create a little bit of abdominal resistance. So you've drawn in the abdominals slightly, and then you're lifting the chest from a string from the center of the sternum there. Once you've lifted the chest, then your shoulders are in a potential position where they can be in a good posture. So once you've lifted the chest, we've established the pelvis, then you can get into rolling the shoulder open instead of letting it just drop forward or pulling back hard. So on a person like me, that would look like this. I would roll and set the shoulder. I would not slam the shoulders back, because that's not going to fix your posture problem. So that involves a little bit of your rotator cuff, and then it also thinks of taking these 2 little corners on the bottom corners of your shoulder blades and sliding them down and towards the center of your spine. And then we've set the shoulders, and then we've opened the chest and the collarbones. So you can work in that position. You can still have an open shoulder and move from your forearm at a desk. And that is the way that I would recommend doing it. So once you've corrected your chest, you've corrected your shoulders, and of course there are corrective exercises that you're going to want to do to help you with this as well, which I've outlined in some of my other videos that I'd encourage you to check out. Then we can look at the neck and we can look at the head. Now, because this is on here, it's not going to help me so much, so I'm going to bring this out to the side. The head has to be aligned after the chest. If my chest is dropped and I'm at a computer and I'm like this and my arms are way out in front of me, then I cannot put my head and neck in a good position. So I want to grow tall. I want to take the string from my sternum while keeping a little bit of abdominal engagement so I don't just thrust my ribs forward. I want to set the shoulders, roll them open. Then I want to gently tuck my chin and pull my head back on my spine. Could you possibly work like this all the time? Of course not. I don't expect you to be perfect. I'm not even close to perfect. But if you can be there 30% of the time versus 0, or working your way up, believe me, you will start to strengthen your core, and you will develop those postural muscles that are endurance muscles that will hold you up for longer periods of time. And it will become easier over a long period of time. And I'm talking months. You'll build up this stamina to be able to sit up in an upright position for a longer period of time. And that is really what it comes down to, is being able to elongate your spine, being able to lengthen the muscles that need to be lengthened, and be able to use the correct muscles to hold you upright. I hope this was helpful, guys. If you didn't see the other video, make sure you check that out as well, correcting the pelvis and hips for optimal posture. These are the kind of videos that I do. I look at whole body wellness, mind, body, spirit. If you enjoyed this video, come back every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, where I'm continuing to put out whole body wellness videos.